Hey everybody, once again. My previous video I showed you all how to do a 1 1/4 inch body lift, and now I'm going to be doing the 1 inch motor mount lift. And in order to do that motor mount lift, you're going to need to do that body lift first before you do that. So the last time when we left off, we're going to be taking off this bolt here and the bolt down there, and same on this side, bolt right here and a bolt down there to loosen up your fan shroud. Also, on the previous video, I had to take off these 4 screws because once you're lifting up your body on your Jeep, the hose that's connected back there is going to lift up with the body, and you might run a chance of cracking something or breaking something. So when I was putting them back, I ended up putting them there. They are a little bit tighter since your Jeep's a little bit higher. But what I ended up doing when I was screwing them back on, I kind of screwed them a little bit too tight to where I got that little hairline crack back there. So just be careful when you're putting it back on. Once you put it back on, you'll feel like a little bit of tension because it's 1 1/4 inch higher, of course. So you just want to be careful with that. And pretty much this is all the stuff you're going to need is the wrenches and sockets and ratchet, and some extenders will be helpful. Some penetrating oil as well. And like I've added before, you don't really need the impact wrench or the breaker bar, but it does help, especially when you have bolts and nuts like on my Jeep that are kind of rusted out and kind of really stuck on there. So they do help. So if you have them, use them, or if you can borrow one, you can do so. We're going to start off underneath here. Of course, you're going to need your jack and your jack stand as a backup. You're pretty much going to get some blocks of wood and then put it right underneath your bell housing. Don't put it on your oil pan because you're going to bend something. So once you have that lifted up, go ahead and put your jack stand right there so it can be as a backup, because once you have your hands underneath there, something slips, you're going to squash your fingers. Okay? So first of all, what we're going to do is you're going to take off this nut that's on this side, and you're going to have to kind of hold it in place, hold this bolt in place, because once you start taking one of them off, they're going to start rotating together. So you're going to need one on this side, one on this side to pull them off. And then right after you take off this nut, go ahead and leave the cross bolt that's in there on there for now. Don't pull it out, and you won't be able to pull it out either way because your alternator is in the way. Okay, so you're going to take off this bolt as well, and then there's a nut also underneath. You can just bear with me for a second. Okay. It's gonna be this one right here. This nut right there. Okay. Also, give me 1 minute. I gotta get back out from under here. And one thing I forgot to mention that you're also gonna need that I have on are some safety glasses. So once you're underneath your Jeep, you're gonna be banging stuff, and dust and rust, all that stuff's gonna fly in your eyes. So make sure you all have your safety glasses on. Okay. Also, like I said, we're gonna have to take off your alternator, and how you're gonna do that is you're gonna take off this bolt here, which I've already kind of loosened. This bolt also has a nut behind there that you gotta hold with the wrench. That way you can take it off, because once you start pulling this off, they're gonna rotate all together. There's also one more bolt down there, and that one you don't need to stabilize anything in the back. It's just that bolt you just got to remove. And you're gonna have to take off this from your alternator. Just this one right here. I think the other one, there's another set of connectors down there. I don't think you need to remove those. Just this one right here, and you can just kind of move it out of the way once you remove that cross bolt. So I'm gonna do that for now, and we'll continue after that. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is that right when you're gonna remove your alternator, you gotta remove the negative terminal from your battery. Okay. Okay, so I already removed the bolts already, the cross bolt as well. If you find it kind of hard to take out the cross bolt once you take off this nut, and of course this bolt and the other nut that's underneath, and of course move your alternator out of the way. You find it hard to pull it out, which I found like it was until I started kind of jacking up little by little. I started jacking up the motor a little bit higher, and eventually it was able just to slide out. Okay, so just go ahead and pull it out. Go ahead and inspect it, make sure all that it's in good condition. If it's not in good condition, of course you're gonna have to replace that as well, but mine seems to be in okay condition. It's a little dirty and rusted, but that's okay. All the old, of course these are from the alternator, these are from the motor mount. You're gonna save those, don't discard them. You're gonna be using them again, okay? So that's this side. Now we're gonna be doing this side. Okay, so see y'all in a minute. Okay guys, I forgot to add, before we start on the driver's side, we got to completely finish the passenger side first. This bracket also, that's around it, this bracket, you're going to keep it as well. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to remove 1/4 of an inch off this bolt right here. And you can use either Dremel tool or a hacksaw, which I'm going to be using, or a saw of some sort that you can use to cut that 1/4 inch off right here from the bottom. Be sure not to damage the thread, so just be careful when you're doing that. And the reason why you're going to be doing that is because they're going to be having, this bolt's going to be too short, so you're going to need that extender that's right here. And you're going to be inserting that right here once you install the motor mount lift. So once I'm done cutting that and installing that other extender, we'll go from there, okay? Okay, this is what it's going to look like. 1/4 of an inch shorter. Okay, so now we're going to be adding that this extender right there. Alrighty guys, I just wanted to show you real quick how to do this before I move on. One thing I forgot to add was, of course, you're going to need a hacksaw to, of course, to cut off that 1/4 inch. So of course you're going to need a tape measure, so you can measure how much a 1/4 of an inch is. And I'm sorry guys that I don't have like any of that fancy I guess editing programs or anything like that. It's just straight off my phone. I just haven't seen too many videos on how to add a rough country motor mount. I see the other ones, but that's why I'm kind of doing this one. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to screw on that extender. You can get a 16mm wrench, put it on there, and just start turning like so, all the way to the bottom. And of course I have it in a vise, so you're probably going to need a vise as well. I'm pretty sure you can do it without it, but it does help, as you can see. And that's about as tight as it can go. All right. Okay, so we got this attached. We're going to get the spacer. We're going to put this right through there. And we're also going to provide a bolt and washer, which is going to go right over here, right into here on top. Alright guys, so this is what it's going to look like once you put it back in there. Of course, the extender is the one that's going through the hole down there, down underneath the frame, and this one goes on top. This is the one that was provided with for you with the washer. Also, you're going to be reusing this nut that you took off for the bottom extender that was underneath, that's pointing down underneath. You're not going to use this bolt, so you can go ahead and discard that. And of course, this is the cross bolt that you're going to use to put it in through there. But I would suggest this time, instead of putting it this way, with the bolt facing this way and the nut facing this way, and do it this way. That way, if you ever need to take it off, you're not having to take off your alternator again. It'll be easier for next time. And so pretty much all the steps that I showed you on how to take this one off and how to add everything on there, it's going to be the exact same on the driver's side. So all you have to do is repeat. I'm not going to go through the motions on how to do that side. It's basically going to be the same thing except without, you don't have to take off the alternator because there's plenty of space on that side. Of course, before you start doing that, you're going to jack up your vehicle to be able to put in your cross bolt. And like I said, you're going to be putting it facing this way. That way it's easier next time if you do want to take it off. So that's pretty much my video for y'all today on how to install the 1-inch motor mount. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, go ahead and post them below and I'll be able to answer them to the best of my knowledge for you guys. So enjoy. Thanks.